Hi Flosstube, I hope all's well. My name is Kirsty, Crafting Kirsty. Long time no see. I had quite a few people taking the piss out of me at the Essex Needles retreat a couple of weekends ago, because I think last September time I came back with a full gusto. I'm going to record every 2 weeks. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's been 3 months since my last video. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're all here to watch. I won't blame you if you're not. But yes, I am back with a Flosstube video. So not only am I late back, I'm now out of sync as well. But there we go. I've had a lot of new starts since I saw you, which I think possibly in my last video I was talking about. I have now started them and some. So I'm just going to crack on with that to begin with. And then, yeah, as it's been 3 months, there isn't going to be a huge amount of, well, there's a lot of life update, but it's just water under the bridge now. So there we go. Okay, so the first start I had was on January the 1st. And I started this with Janet Dodd, my friend Janet Dodd, and Sian the Periwinkle Stitcher. And it is the Eunice Tanquerel sampler by Mani Dodonna. So I saw this on Reese's last video, and it was absolutely stunning. And I convinced a few people to start it or to buy it and start it. And then I was chatting with Sian and she said that she had it and she'd wait for it to start with us. So I am stitching this on a 36 count coffee craft fabric, so it doesn't have a name. And I'm using the called for DMC. Now I haven't got very far with this. This is a bit of a mood of a border, I've decided. You have to be in the right mood to stitch this. There is a lot of colour changes, or there are a lot of colour changes. So I think I had started and I'd got the first sort of little bit done. I took this to the Essex Needles retreat because I knew I'd be seeing Janet and she had bought hers, so we were comparing our samplers. Now, as I said, I started this on, I am stitching this on a Coffee Craft Fabrics. Megan doesn't name her fabrics. Janet is doing hers on the called for fabric. And I've just watched Sian's last video and I can't remember which fabric she's doing it on. It might be the called for as well. So the called for fabric is a lot darker than this. And I'm liking my colours on here. I'm quite happy with this. I know Janet was a little bit and ahhing about one of the yellows in the leaves. So whether she changes that on her dark fabric or not, I don't know. But she has absolutely winged away on this. She has basically, Janet has basically done sort of half of the first and moving on to the second border, as well as, not border, row of little motifs, and then is doing some of the border as well. And I think Sian, from what I last saw, got a lot of border done. So I am slacking already. But when I do pick it up and stitch on it, I do enjoy it. As I said, it's not a just mindless fill-in stitch. So it does occasionally get shoved to one side. Then we started on the starts for Janet's 6 for 60, and the hashtag is Jan6 for 60. And I was due to start the 7 sheep sampler with her, but I couldn't find it. So I had decided that I was going to start Hannah Green 1826 from Hands Across the Sea samplers, and she was the 2024 Queen of the May. Now this one I believe has more than 7 sheep. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 sheep by my counting. So I decided this was due instead of the 7 sheep. I started it. I am using 36 count, just a ticket from Tabby Cat Linen, which is an absolutely lovely fabric. And this sorry, if you don't know, I always start in the top right hand corners. So the majority of this video is going to be top right hand corners. Sorry about that. So I've started, here we go. Loving the brighter colours in this stitch. Yeah, again, just, really enjoying it. started it, pootled along, put it down. And that is with the called for DMC as well. So that was my first of the Jan 6 for 60 starts. Then, rifling through a bag, I found my 7-sheet sampler, as you do. And this is from the Scarlet House. Did I say? Oh yes, I did, it was from Hats. So I found the 7-sheet sampler. So I thought, oh, start it then. Might as well. I seem to be on a bit of a mission to start things this year. So I kitted it up and I started it. And this is another piece of 36 count, is that the correct way? Yeah, 36 count tabby cat linen, just the ticket. I bought a metre of it when I was at the Great British Sampler Weekend 23. So I've just been cutting it up as and when. Now I did get a lot further, or I had got a lot further. I was really enjoying this stitch, and I had done the entire flower and vase. And then when I started down here on this border, I realised that I was out and my vase was in the wrong place. And because it's symmetrical, that top section is all symmetrical, it had to come out. So I was like, oh, so I pulled it out, restarted it to make sure I was in the right place, and then basically put it down in a bit of a strop. But yeah, I was really enjoying stitching on this. It's a lovely stitch. And again, Janet is now, she's certainly done that top border. Has she done the words? Oh, she's done so much of this, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. We were comparing all of our starts at the Essex Needles retreat, and she's just sprinting on ahead. But yeah, so really enjoying that. Again, liking the colours in this one, call for DMC. And proving to be an enjoyable stitch when I pick it up and stitch it. Then I went to the Essex Needles retreat, so that was a couple of weekends ago now, and Janet and I, we're having these conversations on Instagram, and we'd organised when we were going to start everything, and then somehow, or for some reason, I think Janet thought I was going in September to the Essex Needles retreat, and I'm not, but she is. We were supposed to start the Virginia sampler then. It transpires that we decided we would then start it at the Hat Sampler weekend this year in October. I, at that point, finished the conversation, didn't look back at our conversation, and basically got my, knickers in the right twist and decided that we were starting the Virginia sampler at the Essex Needles retreat. So, the week before I thought, oh, I'll kit it up. And I'll say, Elaine, Anybody Stitch, always moans at me because I always want to start really big pieces. And I do, I'm quite happy to accept that. However, Janet has to start everything with 101 threads in it. It's like, oh my God, how many threads are in this piece? So I found my chart, started kitting up my threads, ordered another 20 plus threads, Arts and Designs, wing them out within 12 hours because they are so fantastic. Then just assumed that I would be able to fit it onto the final piece of just the ticket fabric that I've got. Found out it wasn't going to fit onto that because it's a huge piece. So then sat down and went through all my fabric, not that I have a lot of fabric, went through all my fabric, wasn't going to fit on anything. So then had a major panic and then started this email conversation with poor Sue at Pete's Eye Needleworks of, I need this, it's on your website, I can't order a big enough piece, can you cut me a piece? Yes, I need it by this weekend, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. So Sue was again absolutely fantastic, cut me the correct piece, shipped it out, I had it 24 hours later. I think the Friday night before I left the Essex Needles retreat, I thought, oh, I ought to pack my bag. 10:30 at night, I thought, oh, I ought to pack my bag. I will just check it is the Virginia sampler that we're starting. Look back at our conversation. No, not at all. It was the Portuguese bird sampler by Barbara Anna Designs. So then 10:30 at night, all the threads came back out again. Of course, I don't have them. I have them in a semi-organised system. It's not that organised. So there was a little bit of cursing at that point. but I got myself together. I managed to find, I've had to do it on a piece of 40 count antique, so I got antique white, and it would appear to be fitting. And so yes, so poor old Sue, I need the fabric, I need it now. I don't need it till October, but I've got it. So yeah, so that at least is all kitted up. But I have started the Portuguese bird sampler. So this is how far I got. I stitched on this quite a lot at the retreat, and then I stitched on it some more when I got home. And I think Stitchy Rach was quite surprised. She didn't arrive until the Friday evening, and we sort of showed her our starts. And I said, are you sure you only started that today? Because I think I had got sort of a decent bit done. I was like, yes, I only started it today. And along with myself and Janet, Alison Stitching Whippet also started this at the Essex Needles retreat. So that all three of us started it there. So that was good. This has got a lot of not completely mindless stitching in it, but the borders are all very symmetrical and easy, and yeah, so it's a bit of a jumping about, trying to get as many colours on the page as possible, and just getting a few things started up so I can then just pick it up and carry along with a little bit of easy stitching. So that's the Portuguese Bird Sampler by Barbara Anna Designs, and I am just at the very top there. So a little way to go. I think I know, Alison started it right in the middle of the bird, and I think Janet started at the top as well, did she? Yeah, I think she might have done, I can't remember now. Such a busy weekend. So there we go. And then other older pieces that I've worked on. Huntsman, still on the go. From the Scarlet Letter. Fairly sure I thought I was going to have this finished by last summer, or by the end of last summer. No, still going. So you probably won't, because you're sick and tired of looking at it, you probably won't see much of a difference. I have filled in the horse now. So the horse is complete. I think the huntsman is complete. I think most things, there's a bit of a flowery bit in here, are complete. So it is now just sort of, filling in the grass and the different coloured grasses and things. Still loving it, still love it when I stitch on it, can't wait to get it finished. Just don't appear to be stitching on it to actually finish it. But yeah, so I did a bit of mindless fill-in on that for a couple of nights. And then the last piece I'm still working on is the Pinebury Lane, Bringing Home the Tree. This was a Christmas small I started, I think, before Christmas. And this, so this is being stitched. The huntsman's being stitched on a 25 count Lugana. 25 count Lugana with the called for, I think it's 25 count Lugana, or it could be 27 count Linda. So one of those two, call for DMC. Did I say I was stitching something else on Lugana? I hope I didn't. It's basically all just the ticket, Coffee Craft, So I Got Antique, and this Lugana. Sorry, back to Pinebury Lane, Bringing Home the Tree. I have got this far so far. So not much to do, just a couple of trees below him, and I need to attach him to his sledge, otherwise he won't be going anywhere. And this is being stitched on a 32 count vintage country mocha with a called for, I think it's called for DMC. I can't remember. I've got the DMC, but I might have changed a couple of colours. Probably the red. It wouldn't surprise me if I didn't change that. And I was stitching this along with a finish that I'm about to show you now. I was trying to do these as one thread a day. So just like I had two small pieces, this one and the Fancy Blackett shoe. And I thought I'd just start with those, one stitch a day, one thread a day. And because they're only small, you will get through them, which I have done. And then I stopped doing that for some reason. So those are all the whips that I have been working on since the new year, I think. I might have worked on one more, but I can't remember what it is, and there'll be very little to show you in it. So I have had one finish, just talking about it. So this is Fancy Blacket Shoe by Pinebury Lane. I'm sure it's Pinebury Lane that does Fancy Blacket Shoe. So this was a stitch along I started last August with Elaine of Ellie Welly Stitcher, Alison Stitching Whippet, at Ali Stitcher on Instagram, Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, and then Laura and Laurel, two ladies who have joined us last year as well, starting this. And for the last, I think it was 4 years, we decided, this is now our 4th piece, that we've started a Fancy Blacket at the beginning of August, just a small. Really enjoyed them all so far, very happy with this. This was stitched, I've no idea what this was stitched on. I don't know. I don't even know what size. It's fairly seeable, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's not a 28 or a 32. I don't know what it is, but it's very nice to stitch on, and it will have been the called for DMC. So I'm very happy with that. It will get finished into a flat. It's not a fold because it doesn't have a second section to it, just a flat piece to put on an easel. And so that's my finish. And then only one piece of haul. Yes, only one piece of haul. At the Essex Needles retreat, I was trying to be really, really good because obviously I've got a lot of starts. I've bought a lot of DMC. Good old Janet. And I just thought, I really don't need any more stuff. Then I had a quick walk past Rachel of the Talking Dog Stitcher, who had bought her shop to the Essex Needles retreat. So it's lovely to meet her. And I saw this chart. So I'm just trying to take the price tag off. There we go. I saw this chart, Lucy Beam, Lovin' Stitches. It's called Petty. And it's just a little pillow and it says, "Pray for me, I'm petty." And I thought, oh, I do like that. And I do have a second phrase where a few more words I'll put into it as well. I think I'll probably turn this in, hopefully stitch it and turn it into a bag of some sort. But yeah, so that is my only piece of haul. Plans, well, I made them all and they all went out of the window. So at the beginning of the year, I counted up my pieces, all my whips, and I had, let me just work it out. So I did this at the beginning of the year. So I had 15 large pieces, so with thy needle, Dutch Beauty, the ones I've shown you. So there were 15 large samplers, and then I had 2 smalls, Fancy Blacket and Bringing Home the Trees. The 15 large included 1, 2, 3, 4 that I still had to start because I don't think I sat down to look at these plans, whips, and make these plans until into the middle of January. But essentially, in total, over this year, I will have 15 large pieces to work on, and I had at the time 2 small pieces. So I then worked it out, starting from where I was, which was 20th of January. That's how on it I was about organising my New Year plans. That if I gave everything 3 weeks, I would touch every project in my whip basket throughout the year. And then I would do the 1 thread a day I would use for the 2 smalls to get them finished. I had in the back of my mind I might then transfer it onto the Huntsman to try and get that finished. Then I might start some more Christmas smalls, or I might pick another piece that I've got one monochromatic piece. It's not actually monochromatic. I've got 4 different colours in it, but again, it's very easy to just do 1 thread a day on that, because once you've started something in that 1 thread, you are just block stitching at that point. Anyway, so that was the plan. Everything was going to have 3 weeks. I think I kept with that plan, bearing in mind my plans only started on the 20th of January. I appear to have got to February the 9th, and then it all went out of the window. So yeah, so I have no plans. I am going to make a determined effort to touch all of my projects this year, and for an amount of time. It probably now won't be 3 weeks, but certainly if I just get a week or, you know, whatever, I'm just going to stitch what I want, when I want, and for as long as I want. And make sure that I do stitch on everything that I have throughout this year. No new starts until July, which will be Saviour's Praise. Again, another Jan 6 for 60. Probably ought to start kitting that up now rather than leaving it till, I don't know, 4th of July to kit that up. And that's about it. Life updates. It's been 3 months. There's been quite a lot. All good stuff. And obviously I went to the Essex Needles retreat a couple of weeks ago for the weekend, which was absolutely fantastic as usual. Sadly, Teresa wasn't able to make it because she wasn't very well. But I saw Elaine and then the usual motley crew of people that I sit with. It was lovely to see them all. Quite a few of them I only see once a year at the Essex Needles retreat. So it's always good to catch up. Always good to see everyone's projects. Always good to see the finish tables. I think I won wine in the raffle, which is great. Yeah, I think that's about it really. So I go away next week. I have my quilting week away in Northampton. So I'm looking forward to that. And I was saying, because Rachel sort of said, "Oh, are you going to do it?" I said, "Yes, I'm doing my quilting week. Haven't decided what I'm going to work on." Jane Austen quilt. Okay. Fine. I'll work on Jane Austen quilt then. So yes, I will work on that, and I don't know what else I'll work on. And then I think my next retreat isn't until actually the Hat Sampler Weekend, Great British Sampler Weekend, in October. So that's it. If you've come back and watched and stayed till the end, thank you very much indeed. It's very kind of you. I hope you've liked looking at all my top right hand corners. I will do a knitting video fairly soon because I have got a lot of knitting finishes, and I've got a lot of yarn that's been bought as well. And then I will probably do a quilting video in a week, 2 weeks time after I've been to this quilting week, so hopefully I'll have something to show. Okay, take care, bye.